Greeting everyone. This is Jiayuan Zhou, a senior researcher from Huawei Canada, Toronto Center for Software Excellence team. Today, I will present our paper, which is a study of issue bounty in GitHub. This paper is done together with Shaowei from University of Manitoba, Kopo from University of Alberta, Jenny and Ahmed from Queen's University. The issue bounty is a type of monetary extrinsic incentives in crowdsourced software engineering. Before we jump into Bounty, I would like to first give a brief background on crowdsourced software engineering. Crowdsourced SE is the combination of the crowdsourcing and software engineering. For example, open source development, online technical QA website are two popular forms. With the power of crowdsourcing, crowdsourced SE has gained great success. For example, NumPy and Pandas are two popular Python open source libraries. Both of them have million-scale downloads, more than 250,000 code lines. By 2018, they already have more than 500 contributors made contributions. But there are only less than 10 main maintainers at that time. It is amazing that such huge and famous projects only have so few maintainers. However, due to the voluntary nature of crowdsourced SE, it can be hard to find developers to work on a specific issue. For example, some issue report may be too cumbersome and unexciting for someone to volunteer to do them. Yet this issue report may be of high priority to the success of the project. In NumPy and Pandas, a remarkable number of issues remain unaddressed. To motivate developers to address issues, the issue bounty is introduced. Here is a successful case of using issue bounty in open source software. GHipster is a famous open source project, and this project used to suffer from too many unanswered issues and the pending pull requests. And that situation made the project too big and complex for the team to manage. After introducing issue bounty to a project, developers are better motivated, and the sustainability of the project is maintained. To better introduce how the bounty works in addressing issue report, we take GitHub and an issue bounty platform as an example. When an issue report an issue on GitHub issue checking system, bounty backer can propose bounty via the bounty issue platform. For example, the Bountysource platform. And they can also further choose to advertise the bounties in GitHub issue tracking system. Then after a bounty hunter addresses the issue, the bounty will be rewarded to the bounty hunter. Although bounties are used to address issues, the association between bounties and the issue addressing likelihood is not yet fully understood. In this work, we study the association between bounty-related factors and the issue addressing likelihood. Furthermore, we study how does the association change in the project that have different bounty usage frequencies. We use the official API provided by Bountysource and GitHub to collect data. In total, we collected more than 1,000 GitHub projects, 3,500 bounty issues with 5,000 bounties. And the total bounty values is over $400,000. Then we collect 26 factors around 4 dimensions. The first 2 dimensions are bounty related. There are 6 factors in the project bounty dimensions, such as the total number of bounty issues in a project, and 4 factors in issue bounty dimensions, such as the bounty value. The other 2 dimensions are related to human factors and the basic information of an issue report. For example, the role of bounty backers, the number of comments in an issue report. We then employed a logistic regression model to study the impact of issue bounties. In order to better understand the explanatory power of study factors in the model, we use AUC to evaluate the performance of the model and weight chi-square test to interpret the impact of factors in our model. With a preliminary study, we observed that 66% projects only have 1 bounty issue, 33% projects have more than 1 and no more than 50 bounty issues, and only 1% projects that have more than 50 bounty issues. We refer to this project as the first-timer, moderate, and frequent project. We further observe that 19% bounty issues are from frequent projects, and only 20% bounty issues are from first-timer projects. Given the variance of the bounty usage frequency across different projects, it is not advisable to study all the issue reports as one group when we study the bounty at the issue level. Hence, we use a bootstrap sampling method to pre-process the data into 3 groups of sample data. We first consider all data as a global group. Then we build a logistic regression model on it and refer it to the model, this model as the global model. Then we further build models for each group of data respectively. As a result, we have global, frequent, moderate, and first-timer models. The high AUC indicates our model explains the data well. In the global model, we observe that the bounty issue report are more likely to be addressed in a project that uses bounty more frequently. This figure shows the bounty issue addressing likelihood across different groups of projects. In the frequent project group, the median addressing likelihood is around 0.65, while in the first-timer project group, the likelihood is around 0.35. One possible explanation is that projects with a higher bounty usage frequency are more likely to advertise bounties. For example, in our sample project, 89% frequent projects introduce bounties in their documents, while only 5% first-timer projects do so. We also observe that projects with fewer bounty issue reports are usually less active in terms of the number of pull requests, issue reports, and commits. And this is another possible explanation here. We observe that the timing of proposing bounty are important in all models. These 2 figures shows the issue addressing likelihood against the number of days before proposing bounties. Although the correlation between timing and the issue addressing likelihood varies across models, in all models, issue reports are more likely to be addressed if the bounty are proposed earlier. As for the bounty value, we observe that it is important in the global model. The x-axis of the figure shows the total bounty value of an issue. If we zoom in the small curve, we will observe that the issue addressing likelihood increases from 0.45 to 0.54 as the bounty value increases from $1 to $150. However, it stays almost stable after $150. When we take a look at each model, we find that the higher bounty value of an issue is not always a silver bullet for addressing issues. It is the most important factor in the first-timer project. The higher value, the higher issue addressing likelihood, while it is less important in the project that bounty are used more frequently. Especially in the frequent model, the higher total bounty value leads to a lower issue addressing likelihood. Issue bounty is one of the monetary extrinsic incentives. In our other work, we study the reputation bounties, which is a form of non-monetary extrinsic incentive in Stack Overflow. Please further check our other work if you are interested in the extrinsic incentives in crowdsourced software engineering. To wrap up our work, we studied the association between issue bounty and the issue addressing likelihood in GitHub issue report. We study bounties in 3 different project groups based on bounty usage frequency. We observe that the timing is important. Issue reports are more likely to be addressed if the bounty are proposed earlier. The high bounty value does not guarantee a higher issue addressing likelihood, while the high bounty value is the silver bullet in projects that never used a bounty before. I'm Jiayuan Zhou. Thank you for taking your time to listen to our presentation.
So, hi everybody. Welcome to this second paper in the session on open source participants motivation. So this is Gregorio Robles from the Universidad Rey Juan Carlos in Madrid, Spain. And I've got here two of the co-authors of the second paper, which is entitled Studying the Association Between Bounty-Source Bounties and the Issue Addressing Likelihood of GitHub Issue Reports. So I have here Yai Yuan and Cor Paul, and they are ready here to take your questions. I will do the first one while you write your own questions in the chat. So in your paper, you say timing is important. And you have studied as well Stack Overflow in the previous paper, as you say in the video. So, is the timing the same in GitHub as in Stack Overflow?
In both study, the timing are both important, but actually the scenario is quite different. Because in GitHub, the reason why timing is important is sometimes people will wait, the backer will wait until to see are there any developer will want to volunteer address the issue, and they wait and wait, and then they find that no one want to do that. Then they post the bounty to that issue to attract more help from the community. And while with the time going, probably that feature is no longer supported by that project. And at that time, when the backer proposed the bounty on the issues, the owner or the maintainer of the project will have to reject that proposal because that feature is no longer be supported. While in the Stack Overflow, the timing, the bounty is especially effective for the long-standing questions. For example, if you ask a question like years ago, and still there's no one answer that questions, and at that time, the question probably is still down to the bottom of the sea. No one will see that. And in this time, if you propose a bounty on that question, it will pop up and it will gain the attention again. And at this time, the bounty will have special effect on the long-standing unanswered questions.
Okay, thank you. So, still no questions from the audience. So I'm keeping with my question. So this is a more general one. So if a company comes and wants to have a bounty system, how would you advise them to proceed?
A company?
Yeah.
Do you mean the company want to design a bounty system within their company?
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. It's more like a design for the inner source project.
Yes.
And in this scenario, I think it's still very project specific. Say, for example, in a company, there were not only one project, right? And for different projects, they also have different inner community inside that. For example, a project that is for a tool, probably there will be a larger user base. So at this time, probably people, they can design the bounty to treat it as a capitalist. They first throw some bounty to catch the attention from the community, and then people will get more actively. While in some small community, it depends because the motivation is different.
Mm-hmm.
In this study, we separate different groups based on the bounty usage frequency, and we found that the bounty have a very with the more bounty is used within a project, the issue addressing likelihood is increasing, which means people get used to that. But for the project that never used the bounty before, probably the maintainer need to throw some high value bounty at the beginning to catch the attentions.
It's kind of cool stuff. So if a company want to design this kind of bounty system within their company, I would suggest that design different strategy for different projects based on their community and the experience of the user within that community. And need to notice that bounty is not the silver bullet, both in Stack Overflow or in GitHub. It just this kind of extrinsic incentive has side effect. For some developers, probably they are not motivated by this kind of monetary incentives. At this time, for this kind of developers, the higher value bounty or even the bounty itself, this kind of monetary reward will hurt their feeling. But so the main point is that probably need to do a survey to see the motivation of the user within that community. That is another important point.
So if I can add to that, I think what Joyan said is definitely true. And I think if you run such a bounty platform, it can be really interesting to look at all the bounties that were successful in the past and try to make clever recommendations to new bounty proposals, right? So recommend, look, you're working in such and such a project, and in our past we saw that this was a really successful approach for your type of bounty, so you should propose it now, or you should wait a bit, or you should increase the amount a bit. And I think there's lots of interesting recommendations that you can get from the data that is collected in such a platform.
Okay, thank you. So I should offer bounties to the audience if they ask. No, they will get a finger up if somebody asks. If not, one of the papers, not the next one, the last one in this session, researches about the developer motivations. And one of the things that they find is that developers at first start with extrinsic motivations and then move to intrinsic motivations. So that means probably their developers are more prone to have a look at bounties when they are starting. Did you find that as well in your research?
So do you mean is the bounty work like a trigger here?
Yeah, it's a signal for the newcomers, but not for experience. I mean, for those who are longer in the project, what they have seen is that there are more intrinsic motivations, like helping others and managing and so on. But the newcomers, they want more extrinsic motivations.
I see. So actually, in our follow-up study that is about the human factors in the monetary bounty in GitHub, we do find some evidence in that the bounty has the most bounty issues is fixed by the developer who has already committed to that project, which means the bounty. In our study, we found that the bounty has little effect, smaller effect in attracting newcomers. Yeah, because there's a barrier between there. Also, there's a monetary reward there, but they need to learn a lot of things to get used to the project. So bounty probably is not a good strategy for the onboarding process, but it's definitely a very good mechanism for a more active community.
Okay, thank you. We still have 30 seconds left. I don't know if somebody wants to add something. That should be a very quick question. If not, I can announce the next talk right after the Q&A in 20 seconds will be onboarding versus diversity, productivity, and quality, an empirical study of the OpenStack ecosystem. So I hope you enjoyed this paper, and in like 8 seconds, we are gonna get kicked out of this room and we move to the next one. So thanks, Jaiwan, and thanks,